In this second session, the equip session, we're going to look at what are the emotional and physical effects that young people can experience following a loss. And what you want to do is you want to take your drawing of your gingerbread girl and you want to put that back in front of your group. Now do bear in mind that if you've got a large group, to have smaller groups of 6 to 8 young people, that's okay. And what I want you to get the young people to think about really is, what words would you use to describe the feelings that a young woman would experience if they had had some of these losses that you've written down? Maybe you've heard, if you've broken up into smaller groups, other groups talk about losses that you hadn't even thought about, and maybe you need to write those down before you begin. But as you start to think about what words would describe the feelings and the emotions, just be aware that actually all feelings and emotions are valid if that is that young person's experience. How you or I would experience the death of somebody or the loss of a precious item will be different to somebody else, dependent on their life experience and their own personal journey through that loss. So all feelings are okay. All emotions are okay. As long as we're safe and we're expressing them safely within our group, then it's okay to share them. So what are they? Anger, fear, sadness, joy, shame. A lot of anxiety and stress in young people nowadays, and sometimes the anxiety is born out of an inability to express an anger or a fear of sharing that they're sad. And so, again, this is a calm session. This is an opportunity for young people just to have a bit of space to think. And again, we're not making it personal. We're thinking of, what if this person that we have in front of us had experienced some or all of these things? What would they feel? Probably overwhelmed. But a lot of other things as well. So let's write those down around the person along with these words. Maybe use a different colour pen to highlight that these are emotions. And let's not forget as well that Jesus himself felt a whole swathe of emotions. From fear to anger to joy to happiness. He mourned with his friends. He rejoiced with his friends. He sat just still with his friends. And when we allow ourselves to become more like Jesus, we become more fully human, more the person that God has created us to be. And I think that's also our role, isn't it? That we help young people feel okay about sharing these emotions. Maybe if you've got a bigger group at this point, what you want to do is bring everyone back together again and share some of these ideas. And then the second part is, what happens physically to us? What happens physically when we have experienced these losses and we have experienced these emotions, and these will be strong emotions. There will be a physical response. The obvious one is that we cry when we're sad. But maybe we don't. Maybe we internalize it, and what that does is it fills our stomach with butterflies and it makes our body tense. Maybe we create fists with our hands, and maybe we have no way of keeping still and we have excess energy and adrenaline coursing through, so we have to walk and we have to move. Maybe our head feels like there's a thunderstorm going on inside it. And maybe our eyes feel like they're covered and we can't see, or they're blinkered and we can only focus on the one thing that's in front of us. Maybe we just want to shout, but we can't because we feel like our mouths have been padlocked. Maybe we feel like we're just restricted by chains around us and we cannot move. But this is the fun part. Draw all this on the person. Make it visual. Allow the young people to have different colour pens and scribble all over it. Draw. And I've done this with young people before, and we've drawn lightning coming out of the head. We've drawn almost like patches over the eyes. We've sewn up lips. We've shown even self-harm on the body, because that is what young people see either themselves, their friends, or other people around them doing. Again, there's no wrong answer with all this. But remember that there's other resources out there and other people to help, so don't get overwhelmed by this. And when I think of self-harm, there's great organisations and even great videos that you will see on the Girls Brigade website about self-harm. So don't worry about it. You're not going to make it worse by giving young people an opportunity to say this out loud. In fact, you may be the only person that has ever given them permission to say some of this stuff. So again, bring the groups back together. Give them an opportunity to share their own experiences if they want to, if that's safe, but most of all, just give them opportunity to share their ideas with the rest of the group. Help them to know that it's okay to talk. Be permission givers. So at the end of this session, the equip session, what you're looking for is to have words and ideas and drawings to express the confusion and the different levels of emotion and physical response that will be shown through these experiences of loss.